Hey guys, I'm the teen here. I'm giving a tour, or I'm leading some guys. Yeah. So I had 2 tour guests, and we're down to 1. It's just a small tour. One of the tour guests, the guy behind me is NYPD, which is cool. And he's followed me for 10 years. He knows I'm somewhat anti-cop, but he also knows that there's reasons for that, and we've sat and talked about it politely, and I love him for that. You know, it's great. I have nothing but the utmost respect for people who have opposite opinions and views as me and are still mature enough to not hate me for it, and mature enough to discuss it with me. You know, so many times I put up, for example, an anti-Trump post, and then you get people who, instead of just, what they should do if they support him is say why, or give me a reason, or try to win me over to their side. Instead, no, it's just swear words and insults. That's the only thing, the majority of them, that's the only thing they do. And it's like that with anything, you know, like if someone supports police and I don't support police, well, I wouldn't say I don't support them. I support the good ones. I support good police, very much so. When I was younger, I wanted to be a cop. My father was a cop. So, yeah. Check out the view to the right. So, but yeah, so, you know, I put up a lot of... I'm not anti-police. I'm anti-police corruption. I'm anti-police abuse. I'm anti-police abusing their authority. And it just happens too much, and that needs to be addressed. And it doesn't happen in other places. Like in Taiwan, the police are very wary of being sued. They're very calm, and they're very the police in Taiwan are trained to de-escalate situations. And if you look at the thousands and thousands of videos online, it looks like, it appears like, it seems like the police in America try to escalate situations, because they literally have people that maybe scoff at them, maybe go, like they say, you know, you were doing this wrong, and the person goes, huh. And then the cop loses their shit. They're like, what did you say? You give me attitude? Do you want me to mess up your day? Like, that's not de-escalating, Mr. Police Officer. De-escalating would be ignoring the minor scoff. You should be used to it in your line of work, and just do your job. Tell him what he did wrong. Give him write the ticket, whatever. You know, and there are definitely good police like that. Actually, you know what? I have an example of that. I got pulled over by 2 police officers in Canada before I moved to Taiwan, so a long time ago. And I picked up, I was very rude to them. I was, you know, but, and again, like, if you put yourselves in my shoes at the time, like, if they put themselves in my shoes, they would also be annoyed too. Like, what it was there was a girl who had never ridden on a motorcycle, and she asked me if I could give her a ride. So I said sure. She got on my motorcycle, and we rode around the block doing below the legal speed limit. I just took her for a 3-minute ride on my motorcycle. I didn't have a spare helmet with me, so I wasn't able to give her a helmet. And then and then we got pulled over, and I got ticketed for riding without a helmet. And I explained to them, I'm like, we're not going anywhere. We're just literally riding around this little block. She asked me for a ride. She's never been on a motorcycle in her life. You know, who am I to refuse her? Oh, sorry, no, can't, because I don't have a helmet on me. Can't do a 2-minute ride. You know, but I still got a ticket. And then I was annoyed. So I said to the police officer, I said, it was 2 of them. I said to the 2 police officers, I said, what is it? You see a good-looking guy with a good-looking girl on a bike you can't afford, and you just got it, you know, like, I was just being a dick, you know, because I just got ticketed like $150 for 3 minutes of riding at below the speed limit on a road with 0 traffic. And so yeah, and then there was an older cop and a younger cop, and the younger cop kind of puffed up and walked at me aggressively, like he was gonna push me or do something. And the older cop grabbed him by the arm and was just like, sorry to bother you, sir. It's, or not sorry to bother you. He was just polite. Even though I had insulted him, he was just polite back. And that's, because he de-escalated it. I was rude, he was polite back, and then me being faced with his politeness, I was then polite in response. I didn't continue to try to escalate. And yes, in that situation, I was definitely in the wrong. But if the police officer had like pushed me or been like started escalating, he would have been more in the wrong. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I have nothing but the utmost respect for good cops, but I personally think there's not as many of them as we're led to believe. I don't know. So anyways, enough of that topic. Oh, so yeah, so he's a cop, and my other guest is half an American guy who's half Vietnamese, and he's currently working in Vietnam because he wanted to go check out his culture and learn the language. And I think he's teaching English out there, and he's starting up a restaurant or something. And Vietnam's not far from here, so he contacted me and like, yeah, I'm thinking about coming over and doing one of your tours. And I said, oh, well, I have one coming up with an American cop. Do you want to join in on that one? And he said, sure. And we're doing like a 4-day tour, and on the first day, he got violently ill. It's all signs point towards food poisoning, but we don't really understand how, because we've all been eating together and eating the same meals, and me and the other guy are fine. Maybe it was something he ate on the plane and it was slow to infect him or something. I don't know. He just, 1 hour he was perfectly fine, and the next hour he was throwing up violently and dry heaving, and yeah. And then the throwing up and dry heaving lasted for I think it's still lasting up to today. Like, that was yesterday afternoon. Like, I think he's coming up on 24 hours of dry heaving. He can't hold anything down. It's just I spent some time researching it. It's called I forget, norovirus or sorovirus. I think it's something ORO virus, and it pretty much just means food poisoning. And it's also referred to it by many other names, like stomach flu. And the stomach flu isn't a flu, like it's not influenza. A stomach flu just also means food poisoning. It just means but food poisoning doesn't mean you're poisoned. It just means you caught a virus called the corovirus, the norovirus, something like that. I think it's coro, C-O-R-O. You caught the corovirus from food. It's kind of like salmonella poisoning, except it's corovirus. And that's what you get from like food that's been not properly handled. And again, it's not necessarily he ate something bad, because it's highly infectious. So if someone eats something bad and then touches something, and then you touch that thing, you could get food poisoning also, just from an infected person. So maybe he interacted with someone on the airplane or somewhere else that had food poisoning. Anyways, so yeah. So these are some of the roads that we do on my tour. And again, every tour I get people like the guy behind me saying, yeah, this is, better. Every tour, everyone says it's better than they thought, better than they could have imagined. Even though they've seen my videos, even though the guy behind me has been following my video for 10 years, the other guy as well, and they're still shocked by how amazing Taiwan is. And I think I'm going to cut the video there just to make sure I have enough battery, and I'd like to put my glasses back on because I'm currently blind and doing a decent amount of speed down the side of a mountain. Now, you know what? For this, it's okay. Like, I do not feel this is dangerous at all for me. Like, I'm blind, but you don't need to be able to see very well to do a road like this. In the city with other traffic, that's when you really kind of need your vision. But here, it's pretty obvious where the road is, and I can make out the white line on either side, so I know where to ride. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for supporting my channel. If you can, you should support me on Patreon. I'm going to put some videos from this tour that are very interesting on Patreon only. I'm going to start to reward my Patreon supporters more by putting some of the more view-worthy stuff on Patreon only. And, you can support someone on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. I only upload 3 or 4 videos per month to Patreon. So if you want to set a maximum, like someone yesterday, I think it was yesterday, someone said to me, they're like, yeah, I gave you like $1 per video with a maximum of 10, but we've never hit the maximum because you only upload like 3 a month. I wanted to give you $10 a month, but you're only uploading like 3 videos a month. And I'm like, okay, well then change it to $2.50 per video, because that's if you want to give me $10, and then I'll try to go for 4 a month. that's my goal, is to try to upload 4 a month, and sometimes I do 3. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if you can, please support me on Patreon. I'd appreciate it, because YouTube is... Oh, you know what has been crazy? David Dobrik, he's like the top YouTuber. David Dobrik was making $200,000 a month from YouTube, and then YouTube changed the way it paid, like it changed its monetization rules and algorithms and all that. And he said he went from $200,000 a month to like $3,000 a month, like overnight, pretty much. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm making next to nothing, obviously. If David Dobrik's making $3,000 a month, I'm obviously making nothing. And other YouTubers are doing that as well, like Jake the Garden Snake. He pretty much puts, I think he said he's going to put previews for his videos on YouTube and the actual videos on Patreon. So yeah, I'm not there yet, but yeah, I just got a couple of very interesting videos from this tour, and I'm going to put them on Patreon only. I'm not always going to do that, but I will be doing that some of the time. And I'm going to stop so I can put my glasses back on, because I want to see these views too, not just you guys. It's not all about you guys. I'm going to put my glasses back on.
You don't record voice audio anymore, right?